Welcome to Duality Gamecast, the show for people who love to play games. And now your hosts, Matt and William.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another very special episode of the Duality Gamecast. Today, we're digging deep into the Others unboxing. So, Matt, this is a game that, once again, Matt's our finance guy. He's the one who bought it. Why don't you give us a little rundown of what the game is? Why I have all the fun of ripping it open of the plastic and whatnot. All right, so we're unboxing the Others, Seven Sins. It's a horror-themed board game. It's one versus many. One player takes on the role of one of the seven deadly sins and their minions, and the other up to four people take on the roles of individual heroes with special powers, fighting off the bad guys. And it's scenario-based. It's designed by Eric Lang, who apparently just makes all the games now. It's from Cool Mini or Not, and their design studio called Studio McVeigh. Been wanting this for quite a while. It was a huge Kickstarter because what Cool Mini or Not game isn't these days. Got a ton of cool miniatures in it. I did not kickstart it, so I had to pre-order it. And those of us who did not kickstart it but did pre-order it are just now receiving it. So wanted to get into it, look at it, and share it with everybody. So when you first were saying this, by the name of the Others and like the icon stuff, I assumed it was a Cthulhu-themed game.
Yeah, it's not Cthulhu-themed. It is a horror game for sure. And it definitely has some icky tentacle weirdness going on.
But it looks like it has all sorts of stuff in it.
All sorts of stuff.
So are you the monsters in this game, or are you fighting the monsters exclusively?
Well, one person is running the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
In the box, there's two deadly sins to choose from. I believe it's Sloth and Pride.
Let's fight Sloth.
There's also, I think, scenarios that you select to set up for each game. The heroes are a kind of, I feel like just looking at the images, sort of near future cyberpunky looking group. So there's the idea that there's kind of like this corruption, right? That these seven deadly sins are ruining the world with. And so some of the heroes are a little corrupted, and that's giving them special powers. But they're not completely far gone. They're still good guys.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like it's the half vampire fighting vampire concept.
Yeah.
I've been touched by evil, but I'm still good.
And I think there's mechanics in the game where you can get more of this corruption. It may not even be called corruption now, I'm not sure. But that's what I'm going to call it. And I think there's going to be powers that the heroes or some of the heroes have that if they use them too much could corrupt them. The look of it to me reminds me of what's that hidden move game from Plaid Hat?
The sci-fi one?
Yeah.
It's right over here somewhere. What's it called? Oh my god, I should know what that is too.
That's terrible.
But yes, I know exactly what game you're talking about. Oh my goodness.
They don't. There it is, Spectre Ops.
Yes.
So it's got kind of looks a little cyberpunky maybe, and then you got some weirdness, like one of the heroes looks like a werewolf man. One guy's got kind of like demon horns, and then you got some machine gun toting dudes, a katana wielding lady. So kind of that similar jive going on there. Let's take a look.
All right, so I've already shown the rulebook. I'm liking the art on it all. It kind of has this paint, cool stylized image to it. I don't know. What do you think about it?
No, I like it a lot too. It's a big, glossy, full-color rulebook, which is nice.
It is a lot of rules though, so it makes me a little.
Well,
I mean, I guess
it's scenario-based, so
okay. So maybe there's more scenarios in there because if that is just the combat section of it, whew.
It's got some pretty grisly art. Nice, what everything is. Open page there.
Alright, so first thing I'm going to get, these are the chits. I just want to get some first impressions, Matt. What do you think of the art style for the chits? Not knowing what they're for, just looking at the graphic style.
Super super easily identify symbols.
Yes, it's not what I from the art of the book and from the quality of miniatures. I guess I was expecting more art on the tokens out the gate, but
Well, there's more in there. Let's see.
it seems like they'd be easy to see. Which I guess if you're talking about a big board with stuff, you don't want things to be ambiguous, so that's good. Interesting that there's Shrink-Wrap 2. Is this an expansion or something, or is this part of
this
the?
is the core set. You can get other of the Deadly Sins as separate expansions. Yeah, well, this has got a little bit more on it. You've got some kind of killer satellite, it looks like. And some
Guy in a hood.
icky monster icons, a guy in a hood. So, yeah, there's a lot of icons. Probably depending on what heroes are picked, what villains are picked, and what scenarios, I would imagine.
So this looks like maybe these are the scenario boards.
Yeah, so I think the bad guy is going to pick one of these boards and have it for reference.
It looks like on the back of them is the setup. So hopefully, once you know how to play the game, you just grab one of these things and you're in. You don't have to spend a lot of time digging through the rule book for setup rules. We also have, oh man, they have the little cards.
Mini cards.
Now, I do appreciate that people have been using little cards more for purposes later, or lately, I guess is the right term. That didn't make a lot of sense what I just said. What I mean here is that it used to be, I felt like you just got little cards because they're cheaper to make. Now I feel like they're using little cards for equipment, something like that goes on like a character sheet or something, and it's like, okay, it makes sense because you got to get it all in there compact.
Right.
And if you aren't having to shuffle them, it's good.
Yeah.
However, though, I don't know if there's a bunch in the way of character sheets in this game, so I don't know how that's going to work. But let's see here. This has a sword on the back of it. That looks cool.
Rise of the Hell Club, Into the Breach, The Beast We Become, Haven in Flames, Battleground of Souls, The Darkness Within, and Haven's Last Stand. Yeah, so I think Haven is the name of the city that the surprise is.
So this is interesting. Looks like we have good guy dice and bad guy dice. I'm assuming the bad guy ones are the ones with the tentacles. The good guys are the ones with like the flaming swords and the no tentacle symbols on them. They're nice. They're inlaid. Actual like they're not silk screened on. They're actually engraved dice.
Yeah.
So that's good. Nice contrast on
Shields
them.
and fists, so that's probably attacking, defense, and blocking.
And it's looking like all the dice are the same. So it looks like yeah, these are probably just bad guy dice and good guy dice.
They're nice dice.
Yeah, they are. They have the rounded corners, which I know there's arguments on whether or not you should have square rounded corners, but for this style dice, I think it's good.
Rounded corners roll, and I think people like that.
Yes, I agree. So now let's get into the part that I think people are most excited about,
Yeah.
which is the miniatures. So there's a bunch of stuff hidden in boxes,
Yeah.
and then one guy that's just kind of already sticking out there to show off a
He's
little
just
bit.
too big for the box.
So I'll grab one of these.
I believe that's Pride. Pride himself, Mr. P. Ride.
He's very like has a lot of stuff going on, kind of peacocky looking.
He's kind of Cthulhu looking, so I can see
Yep.
where you get that.
Taped up. Let me get one of these guys out. I want to touch them. I do.
So this is the same pack job that Cool Mini does with most of their stuff. You get all these little sub boxes.
Everything was really snug in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like these boxes fit, and they had this extra piece there just as a spacer to keep stuff from shifting around.
Yeah. Peeking ahead here, but I think we got a game board tiles below.
So this is so it's already assembled.
Yeah.
You don't have to snap or do anything together.
Yeah, I've never seen a Cool Mini or not miniature you had to assemble.
He has a lot of detail on him. I like him.
And they're usually made out of, that is some good plastic. You know, people like to complain about miniatures with droopy stabs. You're not going to get that with this
No, yeah.
plastic.
Maybe we can take some close-up shots and throw them up right now. Ooh, the miniatures.
It's going to be very intimidating, but I do want to paint these eventually.
Yeah, we don't normally get into that with these, with most games, but these are the level. These guys have enough detail on them that they're worth painting. A lot of games, you're like, oh, these miniatures are cool. They don't have enough detail that when you paint them, they're just going to be a blob.
Yeah. And with these one versus many scenario-based games, where there's investment in picking your character, picking your villain, it's that board game experience that's approaching a role-playing experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I could whip this out with painted miniatures, I think it would just have a bigger thematic impact on everybody. So, maybe I'll try.
So maybe we should have some painting weekends where we just all get together and paint stuff. Of course, then you might be dealing with other people wanting to paint your miniatures.
Yeah. Oh, there's some people. Like the bad guys.
looks like the bad guys. There's heart tokens right here. I just want to point out that as soon as I saw these, I found them amusing. They're heart tokens. The hearts actually stand up on them.
Yeah, so that's the cool mini or not default kind of like wound marker. I've seen it in a lot of their games. I don't know. I get it, but I don't like it.
I think it's the softness of it. It looks like a Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's too nice.
Yeah, especially because if you consider the other thing that's in here is writing tentacle
That's cool.
Token kind of thing.
Maybe that's corruption or something. That'd be cool.
It seems like it. So, again, we'll probably be throwing up images of these, maybe even right now as I'm saying this. But what's your first impression out the gate, Matt?
So these are definitely the minions. And I believe these are the corrupted nuns that I had heard about. We'll throw up more pictures. But just a lot of theme. I think in one of the expansions they have like killer hobos. And I think one of the hero expansion things is supposed to be like a biker gang, which would be kind of funny.
Is that stuff all out right now?
No.
It's
Mostly
kind of
pre-order,
coming
but I
out.
think some of it is out. Although I think Kickstarter people got some of that already. You got a guy who's holding some kind of sign with tentacles, so you really want to paint in his eye on that. Then you got actually a lot of these people have tentacles, so I think these are, even though she's kind of, she got tentacles on the back, see,
She's hiding them. Well, then here are the actual beast creature things. These ones are interesting because obviously there's a lot of assembly involved with these because this actually has like a mouth with like a big writing tentacle thing coming out of it, and you actually have to insert it and glue it into place. So yeah, the fact that these are already assembled is nice, and probably I don't know, was the price point? I'm assuming it was kind of high on this game.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's because of the assembly required on these things and just the quantity of
I pre-ordered it online. It's been a while, but I want to say it was around the $75 range.
Okay. Now, they're actually different colored plastic, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, so these guys are, just because I peeked ahead, one specific group.
So the red guys are one group?
Hell something or others. I think they may be specifically for one scenario. Oh, Hell Club, I think is what they are.
Okay, and it kind of makes sense. So the red ones, the people with chains and stuff. Then there's the people who are massively either already complete tentacle beasts or basically tentacle beasts with some human form. Those seem to be all one faction. And then there's the like you said, like maybe the nun or the religious zealot like faction, which is corrupted but still looks humanoid.
Look at that guy.
He's got some business going on. Exposed brain.
Is this Sloth? Or is he in here?
Well,
This must be the heroes. These are the heroes.
What color are the hero characters?
Kind of a blue-gray.
That's interesting.
Kind of electric color. Yeah, so you got a couple guys kind of with horns. This guy is kind of a Hellboy with a fighting chain. Got the werewolf guy who's got a sword, because if you're going to be a werewolf, you might as well have a sword.
This is a woman with tentacles coming out of her elbows. And a guy with a gun. More people with guns.
Trench coat and gun. He's probably a badass.
This guy, it's all hair. He doesn't have horns, but he's using a big sword with the Rebel Alliance symbol on it, which I find is funny. Apparently, he's a Star Wars fan.
Sorry, I gotta do that.
It's pointed down. It looks a lot to me like the Rebel Alliance stuff. But I can say out the gate, I'm really impressed with the quality of the miniatures. There's still more stuff in the box, though it's no longer plastic now. So let's start pulling that stuff out.
So that must be. Peek on the back of there real quick. 8 Sloth monsters. Oh. Okay, so I guess maybe Sloth doesn't have his own little incarnation, but there's apparently.
He's lazy.
No, that's gotta be Sloth.
That's probably
There's
Sloth.
6 of those. Oh, I just wiped out all the heroes. You lose.
So this is how come Matt always plays these bad guys.
This is a good test because they always talk about Cool Minions miniatures being tough, and these drag them across the floor with my foot.
This is why Matt pays the money for the game instead of me, because I'd be freaking out right now.
They are tough.
There's still one more over there behind you, Matt.
Oh man, I only have the big sword.
So all this stuff is shrink wrapped together, which is cool for the packaging on it. I'm surprised. I wouldn't think that that they shrink wrap chipboard in. I'm used to seeing cards shrink wrapped.
I wonder if it's part of the manufacturing process, if this is made in different places and assembled together, and so just for transport and manipulation, it's easier if they shrink wrap everything.
Alright, so let's see what this stuff is. So we got the Apocalypse track. That sounds like that's important. Not so much for the heroes, but for other people. We have Pride. And we have Sloth. And then we have...
Okay, that is...
So we have hero boards with pieces that punch out. That's interesting. So it looks like there's stuff that's going to slot into. Maybe that's what the corruption or whatever it is markers do.
Yeah, I think those pop out and you just use markers there. Which is nice.
The Werewolf Man is just a card insert. It looks like he goes over something else.
Carl.
Well, so I wondered if it's like someone else transforms into a
Oh,
werewolf.
like someone wolfs out?
That might be what's
That
going
would
on
be
there.
intriguing.
So like he kind of keeps whatever their sticks are, but replaces their like special
Their
ability.
life track is
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever this upgrade or whatever this track is. There he is, Carl. Maybe he just goes over Carl.
Oh, because he shapeshifts.
Mm-hmm.
So Carl, so the one hero with the giant sword up like this is two guys.
Turns into a werewolf.
He's a skinwalker kind of guy. At start of your turn, you may switch to wolf form. As a human, you gain cross out a tentacle ability, whatever that is, to all your fight rolls.
At start of your
Wolf, you
turn,
may
you
move
may
in
switch.
addition. Okay, so Carl is faster as a wolf, but apparently better at fighting the bad guys as a man.
So maybe he's better at like
Well, maybe
resisting
that's corruption.
Yeah.
Alright, that's pretty cool.
So it looks like they kind of have like pseudo player boards. However, though, I'm looking at it and all their damage tracks over this are exactly the same. So it's purely the special ability and whatever these special these down here. So all these things down here look like the same on every character. It's purely their special ability and it looks like maybe their fight and search dice, something that's a little different. But their damage track or corruption track, whatever this is, looks like it's the same for everybody.
Now, so what I understand, this is kind of an Ameritrashing game. It's a lot of Ameritrashing game. But from what I've read, although I haven't played yet, you pick a pool of characters. You have a pool of characters, and you don't start with all of them. And I think the idea is if you die, you can use a different character. That's what I.
So you aren't eliminated from the game, per se.
Which is I appreciate,
Especially after last weekend.
especially after a brutal run through of Zombicide Dark Age, where I got killed twice, and that was only because we had a robot character that I could take over when my guy died. So if there's a backup for people when they die in this game, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, because like with that game, how long were you sitting there? Like 2 hours?
Oh my god, at least.
So I know you were pretty bored by the end of that, but you hung out. You hung in. So yeah, player elimination is definitely something that most games have gotten away from.
Yeah.
And if they've fixed that in this game where there's still the chance of death, but because like some of these games what they do is like if one character dies, the whole game's over. So you kind of have like a communal hit point pool. It doesn't the idea that like people can die and they're replaced, but maybe that pushes some negative objective forward sounds more interesting to you.
So right there, you've got the minion tiles and
Acolytes.
acolytes. So I believe you pick a set of those as the bad guys to bring with you.
This guy's sign says the end is near.
Corrupted hobo,
Corrupted doctor.
and
Corrupted nun.
my favorite. And then last but not least, the city tiles.
That's a very boring looking one.
So it's really thick cardstock. It's worth mentioning, or chipboard.
Oh.
It's worth mentioning.
This is very good. This is almost on like wood quality board.
It's a coaster, but don't use it as a coaster.
First brush, so this is just me. The tiles don't look super exciting to me.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of gray around them for the road, I guess.
And it's really zoomed out, and they're actually, just because it's not as stylized, this is actually showing like an actual bridge, little guys walking out. This is showing like a hotel or something with people actually wandering around inside of it.
Yeah, so the scale's not right? I mean, let's just grab somebody and
Well, the monsters it may be right, but for the heroes it's
Yeah,
definitely not.
But there are little spots on the board to put things. I'm assuming that's for objective tokens or something.
And obviously the scale isn't the same because in this one, the scale is way bigger. All the creatures on it are way bigger than they were in the other ones. This looks like a bunch of creepy tentacle monsters having like a rave.
Yeah,
Which
so
is-
that's more of an action scene in a way.
Yeah.
It's a club.
It's a club, and all the dancers are creepy tentacle
They're
monsters.
being corrupted.
Clubs will do that to you. This is another step. So, again, I'm not upset with the art style in this. It's just that as far as a tile laying game, it doesn't feel as evocative, I guess. Like, I think when you sit down and you look at it, it's really cool because there's a bunch of cool stuff on here. But when you lay it down, it's very
The scale,
monotone.
the scale's not right for the miniatures, and you kind of would expect that to have with such fine, detailed miniatures. That when you put the miniatures on these tiles, yeah, like you said, it's not really going to feel like they're moving through runes because the scale's all wrong.
Yeah.
It's more like an abstract or board game feel.
And that may very well, I mean, this is just first brush feeling, so it may very well work well for the game.
Right.
It's just that was my first instinct when I saw this. And again, I think the art's really high quality on these.
Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't, because of the tone, because there's so much street showing, gray, and it has that drab feeling, it doesn't, there's something to me that makes that tile stick out different from another tile that I've looked at in these.
Right.
In terms of graphic, like there's no color scheme that make them look different or do different things. It's purely just the icons. We'll see how that works out. We'll see if we actually have to connect streets. It looks like that might be a thing.
Yeah, and I think scenarios are going to have you piece, card number this with card number that kind of thing. That's actually kind of like Zombicide.
Yeah,
Setup.
you build up an environment and then you go explore it.
You want to look at these cards?
Yeah, let's whip those guys up real quick.
It's got a sword on the back. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a pain in the rear. Here we go. So here's the micro cards. There's Dark Past cards, which are probably, let's see, Clear Conscience. So it looks like maybe you draw stuff at certain points because of psychological problems. There's upgrade cards. I know I'm just listing everything. Here's your Sloth cards and your Pride cards. So looks like the bad guys are getting individual little mini decks that you're going to be drawing from to do things. Is this, I see it's a dice game, so is this, would you think of this as being a dungeon building game from what you've explored, or is this more like a scenario event resolution style game?
It's more scenario like Imperial Assault. Imperial Assault.
That's that one you're still, like, do you think that, is it going to be that there's a bunch of monsters and I'm rolling damage on the monsters, or do you think there's going to be some type of like competition on a board to win it out in an
no.
abstract way?
You're fighting it out.
You're fighting it out,
They're
okay.
shooting and melee and all that kind of shenanigans. So this has 3 decks in it. A blue back one with sword back.
Probably hero stuff.
Probably hero stuff. Oh, I don't know.
Maybe, oh, you know what? These match up with the scenario colors.
Yeah,
So,
so scenario decks. Because it's got characters like Gordon Vex Unleashed, which are these creepy kind of Hellraiser twin guys. And Grin Unleashed, which is some muscle-bound brawler.
he's quite large. He's, in fact, he's basically as big as Sloth is.
There is some really good art. Like, any White Wolf fans out there, this looks like Brom art, who's like the classic White Wolf artist guy. Green ones. More. Oh yeah, these are definitely scenario-based decks. Probably all for the bad guys. Yeah, it's the dudes again. That's cool. The cardstock's just a gloss. Nice card.
And again, it looks like these decks are all small. There's not going to be a lot of shuffling with them. So Kirk Willie isn't a huge issue, probably regardless. But I mean, these aren't like high-end poker plastic, well-finished ones, but they're great for what they probably need to be.
So I think we've gone through it all. I'm seeing. Okay, so you have 2 sins in the starter box.
Mhm.
Can you name all the 7 deadly sins?
Let's see, Pride, Sloth, Gluttony, Wrath, Avarice. Am I wrong on that? I don't even know how to define that word.
Is envy one? I think envy.
Envy. I'm thinking back to the movie
Did you
7.
say Lust Story?
Lust. There you go. I think
Yeah.
that's-
So we got Pride and Sloth. They have, I think, pre-order, you can get some more of those now, and you get more, I think, scenarios, more board tiles. I think there's more heroes out there.
Makes sense.
But right here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scenario boards.
Which assume they can probably be mixed with any of the sins.
With the 2 different sins and the different sets of acolytes for them to pick. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I feel like there's a decent amount of replayability just in the box. You know,
Looks like it.
It's pretty comparable to what you get in the starter Imperial Assault box, I would say.
So what I'm interested to see is how different the 2 sins are that we have right here. Because I feel like part of the selling point here was going to be, like, oh, are you going to play against Pride or are you going to play against Sloth? And I'm hoping that there's more differences than just Pride monsters have more armor and Sloth monsters have more hit points or something like that. I'm hoping that there's actual, when you're in the scenario, you know, maybe things feel more bogged down with Sloth, and maybe, like, you know, monsters are more aggressive with Pride, beyond just the units themselves, but just how the game itself.
Yeah, you want thematically, you want Pride to operate differently and feel differently than Sloth. And then, you know, everyone will make jokes until we get the lust one. Yeah. All right, so you looking forward to playing this?
Yeah, I think we set up play right now.
I got to read the rule book.
Well, you can get to that. I'll set it up. We take down the camera. By the time I'm done, I'm sure it'll be ready to go. All right, guys. Well, that was our quick unboxing, or maybe a slow unboxing of The Others.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. Recording's good? Sounds good?
Yep. We already got a minute of nothing.
All right.